alcohol, coffee, and pork. What do all these things have in common? They're all consumed. And religions around the world have something to say about them. It is common practice for most religions to prohibit or to have some sort of laws surrounding food and drink. Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, all these religions have something to say about different foods and different drinks that you should or should not eat. Sometimes this can apply to foods that don't really make sense on the surface as of why they're prohibited. Take for instance pork. Pork doesn't really have any known drug effects on the mind or on people. It may be considered unhealthy, but in general, there isn't maybe an obvious reason as of why people might have a moral opposition to pork. However, there are multiple religions that prohibit eating pork or do discourage the consumption of pork. Judaism, for instance, in the Old Testament of the Bible, it was considered ritually impure for Jews to partake in the consumption of pork, so therefore discouraged to be eaten in general. Muslims do not partake in pork either because they believe it is prohibited by God. Like most things and most laws in the world, there are some exceptions to these rules, and namely in the case of these type of food restrictions, if you are in the situation where for survival's sake or if you're starving, you may be allowed to partake in foods that are normally discouraged to be eaten by, but if given the ability to, you are to refrain from eating food such as pork. There are some foods and drinks out there that have obvious reasons why there are moral codes surrounding those sorts of things, and one of the most popular ones being alcohol itself. Drugs in general are discouraged by some of the biggest religions around the world in general, such as Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, except for in the cases of medicinal use or for healing and stuff like that. However, if anyone is aware of how alcohol is normally consumed, it is not normally and traditionally consumed for medicinal reasons, although it can be. Normally it is used for recreational use, and I would know because I knew plenty of people in college going there for 4 years who drank a lot of alcohol at parties. They most likely should have been studying their books, but that is their own prerogative, I suppose. And since alcohol is normally consumed for recreational use, like any other drug that's consumed recreationally, it is easily and often abused. And again, I would know because I went to college for 4 years and I knew people who had problems with alcohol. Due to alcohol's ability to mess with people's minds and often cause problems, a lot of religions have rules and regulations surrounding the consumption of alcohol, and there are 3 major ones that prohibited the consumption of alcohol altogether. The first one, and one of the biggest religions in the world, the second biggest, second to Christianity, is Islam itself. Islam prohibits the drinking of alcohol. Here is a Quran verse to show where some support comes for this belief. Many Quranic verses oppose a befogged mind, or a mind that is not fully there, and this would apply to the use of alcohol because alcohol suppresses the mental faculties. According to the Quran, the benefits of alcohol are outweighed by the negatives of alcohol, and therefore in general is opposed and therefore should not be drank at all, and it is considered a sin by what I understand for most Muslims. The second major religion that opposes the drinking of alcohol is actually an offshoot of traditional Christianity, and that would be the Latter-day Saints. Traditional Christianity doesn't completely oppose the consumption of alcohol. It is considered sinful to be drunk. It is also considered sinful to be an alcoholic. It is considered sinful to be addicted to different drugs because it will lead you away from God and becomes idolatrous. However, wine was used for certain sacraments of the Christian faith, such as communion, and it is not completely prohibited in all uses and cases. However, for Latter-day Saints, other colloquially known as Mormons in some cases, do not drink alcohol. In the Doctrines and Covenants, written by Joseph Smith, it was said that alcohol is to be avoided, to not be drank, because of its ability to corrupt the mind. Chapter 89 of Doctrines and Covenants, written by Joseph Smith, explicitly says that the use of hard drinks is not good for the Christian to consume, or not good for the Latter-day Saint to consume, unless it be pure wine for the sake of communion or for sacrament. But outside of that, the consumption of alcohol is prohibited and not allowed. It is also interesting to note, within that same chapter of the Doctrines and Covenants, it is also where it mentions that Latter-day Saints aren't supposed to drink coffee, and they are also not to consume or smoke tobacco. And the third religion that opposes the drinking of alcohol is Buddhism. According to the 5 precepts of Buddhism, you are to not drink intoxicants or consume intoxicants, which includes alcohol, because it will prevent you from reaching mental clarity, which is very important to Buddhism. So those are the 3 religions that prohibit the use of alcohol. And I'm sure I may have missed some out there that also prohibit the use of alcohol. And so drop a comment down below if you know of any religions out there that also don't allow for the consumption of alcohol or have strict regulations surrounding it. I know there are other religions out there that do allow for the consumption of alcohol, such as Judaism, but I would be curious to know if there are other religions out there that do not allow for the use of alcohol. It would be interesting for me to learn because that's what I'm here for, and that's what a lot of my people who watch these videos want to do. They like to learn. And I know a lot of people enjoy looking through the comment section to learn, so let's keep having good conversation down in the comment section. And as always, everyone, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe so you can get future videos and updates of my content and what I'm doing. We are close to 1,000 subscribers, so I'm really excited to hit that goal and hit that benchmark and keep moving forward and giving you guys more content that you like and that you enjoy and that you want to see. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and as always, go out there and light the world.